Even if you make every effort to help a person, but he himself does not desire change, your efforts will be in vain. Epictetus stated that our emotions are formed not by events, but by our attitude toward them. You are always ready to lend a helping hand to others, which in our time is rare. However, it is important to realize that without a person's readiness for change, even the best intentions will not lead to the desired result. Before spending your strength on tasks that cannot be solved, watch this video to the end. Discover the secret of the types of people inclined to solitary struggles with their problems. Learn how this knowledge enriches your understanding of human nature and explains why attempts to help such people often turn out to be a waste of time, resources, and energy. People create alternative realities for themselves. Such people, absorbed in their invented stories, cling to illusions as if they were truth. They weave deception to hide their lives, distancing themselves from their insecurities and fears in a stoic manner, finding comfort in fantasies. Their inventions become a refuge and a 100% substitution for their desires and whims. The stoic challenge of honestly looking reality in the eyes is replaced by the ease of living in a world of fantasies, where uncomfortable truths are ignored. This dangerous confrontation with reality puts their true self at risk. But what will happen when their facades collapse and reality reveals itself? Reflections on such substitute realities are not simply curious. They serve as a call to awareness and revaluation of our authenticity. This is an invitation to look beyond illusions and to find within oneself the courage to live in accordance with the real world despite its imperfections. The Stoics instruct us to struggle with our imperfections in order to achieve maturity. The problem of these people is that their rooted worlds are so deep that they reject alternative views, ignoring the ability of our mind to change the perception of reality through feelings, not its actual manifestation. Their behavior is often not malicious. Fantasy becomes a shelter for emotional salvation. Helping such people is a difficult task due to their strong mental barriers. If you try to illuminate their reality, they respond with arguments that do not withstand criticism. Despite clear evidence, they adjust facts to match their illusions. True transformation is possible only when they admit errors in their perception, which usually requires intervention from a qualified psychologist. This phenomenon reflects the dynamics of modern society, where people stubbornly cling to their beliefs, ignoring logical contradictions and continuing to consider themselves right despite obvious inconsistencies. The second type, hidden exploiters, who surpass superficial interactions, is one of the greatest challenges for humanity. The Stoics, possessing eternal wisdom, placed great value on the ability to look at the world through the lens of empathy, opening one's heart to the feelings of others without prejudice. This ability for deep compassion is a true virtue that ennobles the spirit. However, this virtue can be misinterpreted by some people who see someone's generosity as a chance for exploitation. There are those who twist the concept of empathy, perceiving someone's openness and willingness to help as weakness that can be used for selfish gain, masking it as friendship. A question arises: how do we distinguish a true friend from one who seeks to use your kindness? The key lies in careful observation of their behavior. A genuine friend seeks support in difficult times, demonstrating mutual respect and care, while the exploiter constantly puts their problems on display, demanding attention and help, often over small matters or situations they could easily resolve themselves. Therefore, when we interact with others, it is extremely important not to allow our compassion to cloud our perception of their real motives. It is necessary to combine generosity of spirit with vigilance of mind so that our compassion leads to wisdom. Some people can masterfully evoke guilt. Occasional praise is normal, but constant requests, especially when a person is fully capable of coping on their own, are a clear sign of exploitation. They may fail to appreciate your time and energy, creating a dangerous dynamic. If you act against your own common sense, they manipulate your feelings. Even after numerous attempts to help, without visible change on their part, they continue to expect more, confident that there will always be someone to come to their rescue. It is recommended to reconsider your relationship with such people, and if necessary, limit or end interaction without feeling guilty. After all, your well-being and self-care must remain a priority. Caring for yourself is not selfish. It is recognition that you can offer more to the world and to those who truly value your help when you yourself feel whole and satisfied. By creating healthy boundaries, you teach others to respect your time and your contribution, and you promote the formation of healthier, mutually respectful relationships. The third type. There are people so absorbed in themselves that it seems to them that the universe revolves around their personality. This self-likeness of the world, they live in the delusion that every event, every accident happens thanks to their presence. Imagine a situation. You share your frustration about the chaos of city traffic, and beside you stands a self-absorbed person who dismissively reacts to your words simply because he personally did not face this problem. Or, when you joyfully talk about your new job, this same person begins complaining about his professional stagnation, thereby devaluing your achievements. Like emotional vampires, they drain your energy and joy to fill their inner emptiness. An interaction that should have been a dialogue becomes a monologue where only the emotions and opinions of the self-absorbed individual matter. Facing such a reality raises the question of the appropriateness of continuing communication. It is important to find in oneself the strength to demand respect for the feelings and opinions of others. No matter how hard we try to support someone in their pursuit of self-improvement, if the individual resists change, he will most likely remain on the same path. Similarly, if we strive for personal growth but are surrounded by people who fill us with negativity, they undoubtedly become an obstacle to our progress. In some situations, wisdom lies in understanding when it is necessary to protect oneself and possibly distance oneself from those whose presence no longer brings benefit. Emotional self-defense in this context becomes not just a choice, but a necessary strategy for maintaining psychological well-being. Defining personal boundaries and defending personal space are key elements in interacting with others. Recognizing that our ability to influence change in others is limited by their desire for self-development helps free us from the burden of unreasonable expectations. Putting ourselves first does not mean selfishness. It is care for our own health and well-being, allowing us to be more effective in helping those who truly strive for change. Interactions become a valuable lesson, teaching us to appreciate genuine communication, mutual understanding, and depth of human relationships. Ultimately, this strengthens our self-confidence and contributes to the formation of healthy self-esteem based not on external approval, but on inner harmony and self-acceptance. The fourth type, those who do not acknowledge their shortcomings. These people avoid responsibility for their actions, do not ask for forgiveness, showing a lack of self-criticism and humility, qualities that the Stoics emphasized as key to personal growth. They tend to shift blame onto others, refusing to recognize their own role in their failures. They prefer to blame circumstances or bad luck instead of analyzing personal shortcomings or external factors, living in a world where they see themselves only as observers, not creators of their own destiny. Such a worldview contradicts Stoic teaching. The Stoics teach us to face our weaknesses with the same resilience with which we face life's trials. Seneca reminds us that our vices are not an inherent part of us, just as illness is not a natural condition of the healthy. A trait loses its power when you do not allow it to dictate its terms to you. People who ignore their responsibility for their actions refuse self-examination and cannot recognize that being imperfect is a natural condition of a human being. The Stoics urge us to take responsibility for our actions and realize that admitting mistakes and analyzing them can lead to maturity and development. Instead of searching for those to blame, it is important to consider both internal and external causes of failure. Epictetus emphasized that what troubles us is not the events themselves, but how we perceive them. Thus, denying one's involvement in problems is a distortion of reality. When interacting with such people, one should remember the advice of Marcus Aurelius. The best revenge is not to become like them. This reminds us that in some cases, it is better to focus on our own self-improvement and practice of Stoic virtues than to try to change those who do not seek change. And when we decide to distance ourselves, we do so not out of resentment, but with understanding that our personal growth and inner peace should not suffer because of others' unwillingness to change. Epictetus reminds us that freedom is the highest value. Freedom lies in self-knowledge and tranquility. Thus, learning to recognize and let go of those who evade responsibility for their actions means strengthening our ability for self-improvement and maintaining personal harmony. This is not merely stepping away from a problem, but a step toward a conscious life. The fifth type, those who live only in the present. The fifth point focuses on those who do not prepare for the future, preferring to live in a state of eternal satisfaction with the present. Such a way of life contradicts Stoic principles, which, while acknowledging the significance of the present moment, emphasize the importance of preparing for the future through reflection. David, the Stoic, teaches us to value and accept the current moment while also recognizing the natural order of things, including the inevitability of time and the changeability of circumstances. The famous Stoic Seneca advised that readiness for the future is the logical continuation of the focus and dedication we demonstrate today. Seeing potential in people and wishing for them to grow is admirable. At the same time, the Stoics believed that each person must be able to see and actively use their own opportunities. Marcus Aurelius asserted that our power over events is equal to the events themselves, emphasizing that we possess the strength to shape the future with our decisions and actions. Thus, supporting and encouraging someone in planning for the future does not mean ignoring their current worries or emotions. It is acknowledging them as a natural part of our experience. Stoicism offers tools for overcoming these feelings. If a person does not plan for the future, we may regard this as a lack of foresight. However, it is important to respect the person's choice, recognizing that each human being develops at their own pace. Supporting others in their pursuit of growth also means recognizing their right to plan, or not plan, their future, hoping that in time each will find their path toward personal progress. The sixth type, pessimists. The sixth point is devoted to the widespread problem of fighting chronic pessimism. In Stoic terms, such an attitude is counterproductive, as the Stoics advocated cultivating resilient thinking in the face of adversity, striving not only for acceptance, but for transforming negative ideas into constructive ones. Seneca, one of the most prominent Stoic thinkers, advised learning from experience and using hardships as opportunities, because we do not solve them, we only delay them. This suggests that obstacles lie not in the situations themselves, but in our hesitation to face them with courage and optimism. The text emphasizes the focus on the negative, which contradicts the Stoic practice of rational and objective reflection. For the Stoics, the key to inner peace lies in understanding that we can control our reactions to external events. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, emphasized that we should not worry about events beyond our control, but should focus on how we respond to them. Furthermore, Stoic philosophy values the calmness that comes from gratitude and recognition of positive moments in life, even through challenges. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, and to love. When dealing with people deeply immersed in pessimism, Stoic wisdom suggests offering support while not allowing oneself to be engulfed by their negativity. It is important to understand that while compassion is noble, the desire to change others should not overshadow our own well-being. The Stoics teach us to invest our energy where it can make a positive impact, and sometimes this means preserving our own well-being rather than endlessly trying to change someone's worldview. Therefore, it is wiser to direct efforts toward those who are open and ready to adopt a more balanced and optimistic outlook, those who, in accordance with Stoic practice, work on themselves and develop through the support provided to them. The seventh type, those who avoid responsibility. The seventh profile touches upon an essential issue. The Stoics believed that we can choose how to interpret and react to the events that happen to us, which is concisely reflected in Epictetus's famous quote, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it." Those who avoid responsibility for their actions, constantly shifting blame to external factors or other people, neglect one of the most important aspects of personal freedom and growth: being the author of one's choices and accepting their consequences. For the Stoics, self-analysis and self-criticism are crucial for developing character and living a good, meaningful life. The philosopher-emperor emphasized the importance of self-analysis, recognizing one's shortcomings and making progress through reflection. He questioned himself and reminded himself of the value of examining one's actions and motives instead of blaming others or circumstances. Thus, to help a person stuck in this loop of avoiding responsibility, Stoic wisdom would suggest honest self-assessment, urging the person to understand what lies within their control, their own actions, reactions, and judgments. However, the Stoics also acknowledge that each person must be willing to walk this path of self-knowledge. This is not something that can be forced from the outside. Moreover, although we can offer support and perspective, the Stoics would remind us not to worry excessively about the failures of others or their refusal to change. We must recognize that we do not control others' actions, only our own. True change must come from within, and often suffering and difficulties become the catalyst that leads a person to introspection and a desire to change. Therefore, the mentioned difficulty of learning from personal experience may reflect the immediate confrontation with the consequences of one's choices. The eighth type, those who expect privileges. The expectation of unearned privileges contradicts the work ethic and orientation towards self-development characteristic of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics teach that human value comes not from innate privileges or expectations of special treatment, but from cultivating personal virtues such as justice, courage, and temperance, being worthy of what we desire and recognizing that feelings of entitlement without corresponding effort are deceptive and a source of dissatisfaction. Marcus Aurelius, despite being an emperor, wrote about the importance of living according to nature and not placing oneself above others, regardless of one's position. He reflected on the impermanence of power and the importance of remaining humble. According to the Stoics, the universe owes nothing to anyone. Everything that happens to us is a result of a complex network of causes and effects, and true reward comes through virtuous actions and hard work, not through unrealistic expectations or demands. When dealing with people who expect privileges, the first step is to set an example of moderation and a life oriented toward virtue, demonstrating by your actions the value of honest effort and contribution. It is also desirable to gently encourage such individuals to reflect on their ideas of merit and fairness, perhaps suggesting that they consider what they truly deserve based on their actions rather than their desires or expectations. The Stoics also advise not reacting emotionally to ingratitude or entitlement in others, remembering that each person acts according to their understanding. Sometimes the consequences of unrealistic expectations may become the most profound lesson they can learn. The ninth type, those who resist learning and change. For the Stoics, learning and self-improvement were essential elements on the path to moral and intellectual progress. For them, wisdom was not simply a state to be achieved, but a continuous process of personality development. Stoic philosophy encourages inner reflection, honest self-assessment, and the readiness to adapt and learn from life experiences. Epictetus encouraged us not to fear self-correction, as true learning arises from the ability to change and improve. Marcus Aurelius also wrote about the importance of being open to new ideas and perspectives and not stubbornly clinging to one's opinions. To deal with those who resist learning and change, the Stoics would not impose transformation but would lead by example. They also advise practicing empathy, understanding why people hold certain beliefs or behaviors, and approaching discussions of change with respect for their point of view. The 10th type, dependent and self-doubting individuals. The 10th profile focuses on those experiencing inner conflict, wavering, and insecurity. These individuals find it difficult to make independent decisions, fearing mistakes and potential failures. Their life path often depends on the approval and guidance of others, creating inner conflict between self-expression and fear of judgment. Stoic philosophy offers such dependent and doubting people a unique path: liberation from the chains of doubt through awareness and acceptance of one's own will and abilities. The Stoics teach that power over our inner world is the key to true confidence and independence. Relying on the wisdom of great thinkers such as Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, we find in their words a call to inner work aimed at strengthening the soul and mind. Overcoming dependency on others' opinions and doubts requires establishing one's own values, developing critical thinking, and gradually taking responsibility for one's actions and their consequences. It is important to learn to see each life situation as an opportunity for self-determination. Confidence comes through meaningful self-acceptance and liberation from external expectations. Becoming a strong, independent individual is a journey that requires time, patience, and perseverance. Throughout this process, Stoic philosophy serves as a reliable compass pointing toward inner peace and harmony with oneself. Each dependent and doubting person eventually reaches the moment when they realize that true power lies within, and accepting yourself, with your fears, doubts, and dreams, is the first step toward liberation from guilt and building a life full of meaning and satisfaction. Remember, not everyone is ready for change immediately, and that is normal. Our task is not to force someone into positive transformation. Now the question, what type of personality do you encounter most often in your life? Share in the comments. Your stories may inspire others on the path of self-improvement. See you in new videos where we will continue exploring the depths of Stoicism and personal growth. May each of your steps be confident and your soul be steadfast. Stay with us. Much more interesting content lies ahead.